Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever wondered how to actually turn that creative spark into a real career? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to break down a full-on roadmap for anyone wanting to become a graphic designer, and we're basing it all on some really solid guidance from Kilks Academy.
All right, let's just kick things off by tackling a huge misconception. Is graphic design, just about making things look pretty? Like slapping on some nice colors and a cool font? The short answer? Absolutely not.
Actually, it's way deeper than that. The source we're looking at defines graphic design as a strategic skill. It's all about using visuals to get ideas across, to build a brand's entire identity from scratch, and, at the end of the day, to solve real-world problems for businesses.
And that right there is the key. Great design isn't just decoration. It always has a purpose. It's working towards a goal, whether that's helping to sell a product, making a complicated idea super easy to understand, or even shaping how you feel about a company.
And honestly, the sheer variety is what makes this field so exciting. I mean, once you get the fundamentals down, you can go in so many directions. You could be the person crafting those iconic logos, or maybe you're designing a super smooth app that people love to use. Or hey, maybe you're creating awesome motion graphics for social media. Every single one of those paths is a unique adventure.
Okay, so where do you even begin? Well, before you can jump into making cool stuff, you got to build your foundation. Think of it as your toolkit. These are the absolute, non-negotiable essentials for any pro-level design. And here they are, the Big Five. Seriously, these are like your superpowers. Hierarchy? That's how you guide someone's eyes, telling them, look here first. Contrast is what makes important stuff pop. Balance? Well, that just makes everything feel right, not lopsided. Alignment creates that clean, organized look. And white space, yeah, the empty parts. That's what gives your design room to breathe. I'm telling you, without these principles, it doesn't matter what fancy software you have, your work just won't feel pro.
Now, software, I know, it can feel like you have to learn a million different programs, right? But the key takeaway here is simple. You absolutely don't. The smart move is to pick the right tool for the job you want to do. Want to create logos? Get really, really good at Illustrator. Focused on websites and apps? Figma is going to be your best friend. It's all about being strategic.
Okay, so you've got the principles down and you've picked your software. That's great, but how do you actually get good at this? The secret, it turns out, isn't just practicing. It's how you practice.
And that brings us to a question that messes with so many beginners' heads. You see this gorgeous template online, and you think, wait, if I just use this, am I cheating? Am I even a real designer? Well, the guide we're following has a super clear answer for you.
And boom, there it is. Think of templates not as a cheat code, but as a learning tool. They're like having a virtual mentor showing you exactly what a professional design is made of, right up close.
But here's the catch. You've got to use them the smart way. Don't just swap out the text and call it a day. First, you analyze it. Really look at it and ask, okay, why did they pick this font? Why is this layout working so well? Then the real magic happens. Try to rebuild it yourself from scratch. This forces you to learn the mechanics. And once you've done that, you can take those principles and apply them to your own original ideas.
And here's another awesome tip for practicing. You don't need to wait for a real client to start building a portfolio. Just make one up. Design a logo for a made-up coffee shop or create a whole social media campaign for a fake travel company. This is your chance to go wild and show off what you can do, with zero pressure.
All right, this next part is huge. This is where we talk about that massive leap from this being a hobby to actually getting paid for your work. This is where your skill becomes a real business. Think of your portfolio as your best salesperson. It does the talking for you, so it has to be on point. The advice here is all about quality over quantity. Pick just 3 to 5 of your absolute best, knock it out of the park projects. And for each one, don't just show the final image. Explain your thought process, use mock-ups to show it in the real world, and make it super clear what your design specialty is.
Now, let's talk money. Pricing your work. The guidance here is to completely shift your mindset. Stop, and I mean stop, charging by the hour. Instead, you're going to sell a solution. You package your services into clear deals, like a branding starter pack. It's way easier for clients to understand, and it makes you look like a strategic partner, not just someone they're hiring to push pixels.
So, the million-dollar question, how do you get that first paying client? Well, the roadmap gives us some really practical steps. A great way to get your foot in the door is to offer maybe 1 or 2 free projects. Why? For killer testimonials and portfolio pieces. After that, you can start hitting up freelance sites like Upwork or just connecting with people in Facebook groups. The main thing is you gotta put yourself out there.
Okay, so you've built up your skills, you've got a killer portfolio, and you're feeling confident. The journey is not over, not even close. In fact, this is where the fun really starts. Now you get to choose your own path.
And there are a few main directions you can go. You could go full freelancer, enjoying all that freedom and flexibility. Or maybe you'd prefer to join a cool company as an in-house designer, really digging deep into one single brand. Or hey, if you're ambitious, you could start your own agency, or even become a creator and teach others everything you've learned.
But, at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one thing. You have the roadmap now. The path is clear. But a map doesn't do you any good if it just sits on your desk, right? Success isn't just about knowing what to do. It's about actually doing it, taking those steps, one after another.
And that's where we're going to leave it. You've got the roadmap. It's right here. So the only real question left is, where are you going to go next? What's your very first move? Thanks so much for tuning in.